if we're talking surprise 2-0 teams, I think you got to start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? For my money, best roster among the surprise teams, and they play in a wide open division. I talked to our own Joe Davis and Daryl Johnston about exactly that.
All right, Dave. So, coming into the year, not many people like the Bucs. Have they gone with this 2-0 start and suddenly made themselves the favorite in the South?
It's early, but I would say yes.
Wow.
And for a number of reasons. Number one, they're very good in the offensive and defensive line. And to me, that's where everything starts. It allows your running game to be successful, your passing game to be successful. They're great at pressuring the quarterback just with their down guys, but then with Todd Bowles' system, adding pressure from the linebacker level, the secondary level. I still think they have probably the best 1-2 or 1A, 1B wide receiver combo in the NFL, trying to defend that. And one of the great lines this week was Todd Bowles saying, listen, I'm not asking Baker Mayfield to build the engine. I just want him to drive the car. Well, he's doing a little bit more than just driving the car. He might be working on the carburetor.
Really impressive stuff from Mayfield today. Starts his time as the Bucs quarterback 2-0. They hold off the Bears today, 27-17, Dave.
Now, there were some who had views of the Bucs being a surprisingly good team, and those people look awfully smart. This defense is stocked full of the dudes who helped them win Super Bowl 55. They're still there, and those dudes look charged up. Through 2 games, the Buccaneers have 8 sacks. They've got 5 takeaways. They terrorized Justin Fields nonstop on Sunday afternoon. All they needed was for Baker Mayfield to not mess this up. Not only is he not messing it up, he's playing like we thought he would on draft day. He torched a banged-up Bears secondary for 317. Set Mike Evans up for 171 on the day. He found 7 different receivers in this win against the Bears. He only threw 8 incompletions, by the way. A 2-0 start may have been the furthest thing from anybody's minds, but the Bucs are proving exactly why you can't write them off. Hey, guys, you're not the only ones that can do Drake references. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Atlanta Falcons. After all, the Bucs' own division rival is also 2-0. And check out the stones on Arthur Smith. The Falcons head coach goes for it on 4th down 4 times on Sunday against Green Bay. None of those was bigger than at the 2:07 mark of the 4th quarter. He elects to move closer rather than settle for a field goal to take a 25-24 lead. Now, granted, the Falcons would still wind up kicking a field goal to go ahead, but it allowed them to take another minute off the clock, get rid of Green Bay's remaining 2 timeouts. They lose the game if they don't get that. Played it to perfection. Scared money don't make money. Absolutely love it from Arthur Smith. This is more of the vision, I think, of what Arthur Smith had in mind for the Falcons than week 1. Week 1, a stop-start game, not exactly a very pretty affair, but this was impressive. They carried the ball 45 times for 211 yards against a Green Bay defense that looked swarming in week 1. That is going to be the engine of this offense. That threat of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier running the ball is going to make life easier on Desmond Ridder, throwing into favorable coverage. And oh, by the way, all of his options have 12-foot wingspans, looking like sequoia trees out there. It played to perfection in this game. Drake London, after a forgettable season opener, gets involved. He's got 67 and a tutty. Mac Hollins would have had a touchdown of his own if he just maybe do a few more calf raises in the gym next time, Mac Hollins, and you will come down with a touchdown of your own. If the run game is working the way the Falcons want it to, they are going to be a headache for everybody they play, and that's why they're 2-0. Okay, you could have seen most of that coming. Falcons and Bucs, proud of you though we are. How about the Washington Commanders? And hello to Sam Howell. It's one thing to stay out of the way in week 1 against Arizona, which is basically what he did. Week 2 brought something completely different. Now, let me not get too far ahead of myself. The Washington pass rush continues, in my opinion, to be the best thing the Commanders do. They sacked Russell Wilson 7 times on Sunday. They forced him into 2 turnovers. That doesn't change the fact that Howell, making his 3rd NFL start, facing a 21-3 deficit early in the 2nd quarter, leads his team back, led this offense back in the late first half and the early second and the entire second half. He's led scoring drives on 3 of 5 possessions after halftime, had a 30-yard dot to Terry McLaurin. He wasn't just operating the offense and staying out of the way. He was making big boy throws, making big boy plays. Of course, similarly hilarious to the finish between the Niners and the Rams. This is an absolutely wacky finish. The Commanders complete the comeback. They actually take a big-time lead, only to give it away on the most ridiculous Hail Mary you'll ever see. If you missed it on Sunday, please go check out the replay. It looked like a volleyball match, the way guys were bopping it into the air. They survived, though. Can you imagine being Ron Rivera? You know this whole season is an interview for your job. You know you got to win. And the difference between 2-0 and 1-1 is the 2-point conversion on a Hail Mary that never should have been completed in the first place. But guess what? They get the breakup. Maybe should have been a flag, but hey, it didn't get thrown. And the Commanders, one of the most unlooked for, impressive 2-0 starts to the season you'll ever see. And while we need to mention Montez Sweat, Chase Young, and all the rest of those pass rushers, it starts with Sam Howell, because you don't overcome 18-point deficits without good quarterback play. Good on ya, young fella.